Hi, fourth grade. Today we're going to be taking a look at probability, and we're going to practice computing probability. So, let's review our vocabulary word probability. We've looked at that already earlier this year, but probability is the chance that something will occur. So looking at this looking at this jar of marbles, we see that there are different color marbles inside the jar. And so we might ask ourselves, what is the probability of drawing a red marble? Or what is the chance of drawing a blue marble? Okay? And the way that that would look is on the bottom, you put the total number of marbles in the jar. So if we count, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 total marbles in the jar. So if we want to figure out the probability of drawing a green marble, we would count the number of green marbles that are in the jar. And we can easily see that there are 2 green marbles in the jar. So the probability, or the chance, of drawing a green marble is 2 out of 10. So if I drew marbles 10 times, most likely 2 of those times they would be green. And so the way that we write that is P, which stands for probability. So P of green, probability of green, is, and we write it as a fraction. We write 2 out of 10. Okay? Well, now I'm going to ask you, what is the probability of drawing blue from this same jar of marbles? Okay, well, we can count that how many total marbles are there. We already know that there are 10. So the total always goes on the bottom. And then how many blue marbles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the probability of drawing a blue marble is 5 out of 10. So we write P with blue in parentheses equals 5 tenths. 5 out of 10. So we write it just like a fraction. Okay, go ahead and try to write the probability of red marbles, drawing a red marble. Okay, again, we have 10 total marbles in the jar. Only 3 of them are red. So the chances are, 3 out of 10 tries we would get red. Sometimes the question might ask us, what is the probability of drawing a green or a red? Okay, so in this case, we're going to be looking at 2 different color marbles. Well, on the bottom, we still put the total number of marbles in the jar, and that has not changed. There are still 10 marbles in the jar. So now we're going to count the green and the red together. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the chances, or the probability, of drawing green or red is 5 out of 10, or 5 tenths. So now I'm going to have you try one on your own. What is the probability of drawing a blue or a red? Well, if you wrote 8 tenths, you are correct. Okay, well, let's look at this same jar of marbles, and I'm going to now ask you, what is the probability of drawing a yellow marble? Some of you are probably thinking, Miss Nielsen, that's a really silly question. There are no yellow marbles. Well, you're absolutely right. So the way that you would write that, you still have your 10 marbles on the bottom. And how many of those marbles are yellow? Okay, your answer should be 0, right? There are no yellow marbles in the jar. So there is 0 out of 10 chances that you're going to draw a yellow marble. Or in other words, it is impossible. It has to be impossible because there are no yellow marbles in the jar. So you're never going to draw one, okay? So we say that those chances are impossible, or 0 out of 10, 0 tenths. Okay, well, let's look at this question right here. What if I asked you, what is the chance or possibility that you're going to draw a blue or a green or a red? Hopefully you're thinking, well, Miss Nielsen, no matter what I draw, I'm going to get a blue or a green or a red. So the chances of getting a blue, a green, or a red are 10 out of 10. Every time I draw, I'm going to get one of those, okay? So if you have the probability of 10 out of 10, or 10 tenths, then we call that being certain. I am certain that I am going to draw a green, a blue, or a red. So it is 100% going to happen. It is for sure, okay? So we can have certain probability, we can have impossible probability. Okay, so now I want us to look at this spinner right here and determine some of the probability of the spinner. Okay, So if we count the spaces on the spinner, we see that there are 8 different spaces. Okay, so I've given you the probability for red. The chance or the probability that you're going to spin a red is 1 out of 8, or 1/8. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and I want you to write down the probability for each of these things. Okay, and then once you press play, I want you to check your answers. I'm going to have all the answers here for you. So go ahead and press pause and try that now. Okay, so let's go ahead and check your answers. The probability of spinning a green is 3/8, blue 2/8, yellow 2/8, blue or yellow is 4 out of 8, purple is impossible, 0 out of 8, blue or red or yellow or green is 8 out of 8. It is certain. All right, good job on your probability today.